Good afternoon and welcome to our lightning talk, AWS and ISV solutions for operational excellence. My name is Karen James and I'm a worldwide partner specialist for resilience. It's possible that you might have been expecting my colleague. He sent his apologies. He had to step away for a family emergency. So please bear with me. I'm stepping in and I thank you in advance for your patience. So partners are absolutely critical to us to help our customers achieve resilience in their workloads and support our customers in achieving the value and the flexibility of the cloud. So thank you so much to all the partners and ISVs that are here today. And we really want to make sure as a team that you have the support, the tooling, and the go-to-market materials to help you help our customers better. Today we'll cover why resilience matters even more now and how moving to the cloud supports our customers' need to achieve operational resilience. We'll give ourselves a brief reminder of our resilience messaging and the shared responsibility model and how ISVs fit into our picture. And of course, we'll close with a call to action. If there's any questions in between, please don't hesitate to interrupt, or we can also take those at the end. So being at this conference does really highlight, when you look around you, right, how cloud adoption has really accelerated exponentially over the last few years. And with the emergence of compute-heavy technologies like Gen AI, the always-on, always available expectation is no longer negotiable for our customers. Systems need to be available and provide continuous service. So our CTO, Werner, he could not have said it any better. Everything fails all the time. We need to build systems that embrace failure as a natural occurrence and work despite those failures. So I'm sure Werner never expected to feature this heavily in all of our presentations, and I'm sure you've seen his face before. But for us, from a resilience perspective, this quote really sums it up very well. And as you know, we at AWS, we like data. And here we've got some data points to really highlight the importance of resilience now. So on average, organizations face 86 outages per year. That's more than one disruption per week. And yet only 20% of these organizations feel adequately prepared. So we are looking at 324 minutes of downtime weekly, which with each incident taking over 3 hours to resolve. And on average, this amounts to around $500,000 average loss cost for a large enterprise. So this can be detrimental for businesses of any size, but of course for smaller businesses, it could mean the end. And for me, my takeaway of this slide is that we've got work to do collectively, customers, partners, and us at AWS, to help achieve operational resilience and the requirements needed. So a migration or a modernization of business-critical workloads to the cloud is a good first step towards meeting those requirements. Achieving operational resiliency and high availability are key benefits of running workloads in the cloud. Organizations can reduce their dependency on on-premises hardware and software, and the cloud's distributed nature makes the overall infrastructure more resilient to localized incidents and power outages and such. And we've all heard about the situations we've had most recently, right, with power outages. And by further investing in embedding resilience measures into application and architectures, customers can then move from a compliance-driven and reactive to forward-looking and strategic, and positioning themselves as leaders of the industry. And they realize the benefits of doing so. So there's a reduced cost of disruption, the lessening or avoiding of the impact on the brand and the reputation, which is detrimental. By preventing penalties from the regulator, by achieving regulatory compliance, customers can impact the bottom line. The cloud also provides the agility to scale up or down on demand whilst maintaining the resilience and the availability, providing further cost optimization. So another call to action here for us collectively and to our partners, let's work on pivoting away from thinking how much does a resilience initiative cost me to how much value can I create with this investment in resilience. More reliable products and services drive increased market share and client retention for our customers. And keeping up reliably with the pace and demand for new applications and innovations and being able to reduce the time to market will become the key differentiator. So I've been using the word resilience quite a bit so far, and on purpose. As I just mentioned, achieving resilience and high availability is a key driver for customers to move to the cloud. But, and there's always a but, right? Integrating resilience into migration and modernization process is not inherently organic. We really need to be intentional about resilience measures before, during, and after the cloud migration to achieve this balance of resilience and flexibility. So the AWS Resilience Mentor Model, in my opinion, is a really good depiction of what we mean with being intentional. So when we architect for resilience, you, our partners and our customers, you will generally implement a combination of high availability and disaster recovery strategies to respond to the different types of disruptors. However, this approach really highlights a critical point. Achieving resilience in the architecture does not preclude you to think about a disaster recovery strategy. Resilience is not a one-time activity. It's to be checked off the list. The threats change, regulations change, you need to go back to the auditors on a yearly time frame, even quarterly in some cases. It's an ongoing engagement. So continuous improvement and ongoing observability and monitoring practices are also a key in achieving achieving a business continuity plan. So, quick show of hands. Who is here from a partner? ISV? And customer, I assume the rest. Great. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the AWS shared responsibility model, but it's always a good reminder to all of us. And this shared responsibility model really helps relieve the customer's operational burden as AWS operates and manages and controls the components from the host operating system and the virtualization layer down to the resilience of the infrastructure. And then in turn, the customer assumes the responsibility and management of the workload built on AWS. This differentiation of responsibility is what we commonly call resilience of the cloud versus resilience in the cloud. And if we now focus on the middle section of the slide, which you may think is a new addition, both customers and partners can or maybe even should leverage our vast community of independent solution vendors, what we call ISVs, that have built their resilience offerings on AWS. And those ISVs not only benefit from building their architecture with resilience best practices on AWS, benefiting from the resilience of the cloud, their offerings can also support our customers by easing the burden of responsibility of achieving resilience in the cloud. So the customers who collaborate really closely with our GSIs, our SIs, and our ISVs, they achieve a more secure and resilient outcome and therefore better outcomes for their customers. This strategic incorporation of ISV solutions empowers organizations to transform their operational capabilities in a meaningful way. At the foundation, it enables the construction of more resilient operational infrastructure, creating robust systems that can withstand various challenges and disruptions. organizations gain the visibility to tackle specific operational pain points with precision, leveraging purpose-built solutions rather than forcing generic tools to fit specialized needs. The flexibility afforded by ISV solutions is particularly valuable in today's dynamic business environments. Organizations can adapt their technology stack more readily, adding or modifying components as business needs evolve. And this agility extends to business continuity planning, where ISV solution providers provide multiple pathways to maintain operations across different and potential disruptions. Perhaps most importantly, this strategic approach allows organizations to achieve a crucial balance between optimizing costs while still maintaining operational excellence. So rather than investing heavily in building every solution from scratch or relying on an expensive one-size-fits-all platform, organizations can select specific ISV solutions that deliver the best value for their particular needs and environments. And this targeted approach results in a more efficient resource allocation while ensuring high-quality operational capabilities. So for example, if we think about a custom backup and disaster recovery solution, ISVs can offer automation, compliance tracking, and hybrid cloud options that are far more agile and cost-effective than a one-size-fits-all approach. Ultimately, ISVs help organizations stay ahead of risk, not just react to it. They build the tools that allow enterprises to be proactive, adaptable, and secure in the face of uncertainty. Of course, no presentation is a good one without a call to action. So let me summarize. Assessing workloads and business continuity requirements to ensure the resilience postures meets those is imperative and should be done before, during, and after a migration and modernization. And as I spoke about previously, let's work together on pivoting away from thinking, how much does a resilience initiative cost me, to how much value can I create with this investment for myself and our customers. And lastly, I do want you to go ahead, whether you are an ISV, whether you are a customer, or whether you are a GSI or an SI, explore our ISV solutions or marketplace. And as you know, Inforce is always the primer for reInvent. Keep a very close eye on some of the exciting announcements and things that are coming following the theme of ISVs and resilience. reInvent is just around the corner. So I really hope you were able to take away some new insights, maybe a little bit of inspiration or thought-provoking inputs. And please do visit us at the Specialist Partner Pavilion at the end. We have some great swag to give away, unless you've already collected yours. And of course, if you have a moment, appreciate your feedback and enjoy the rest of the conference.